Good afternoon. It's Memorial Day. We'd like to thank those that gave all. At the same time, we're disgusted. And that's why we seek the resignation of Larry Stern, Wentz, Rita Spenille, Nathan Foeller, and Stephen Holland. Let me explain. Memorial Day, remember that. We were given a notice today, Monday, the 25th, that a special meeting is going to take place related to the budget of this school district. Also, a finance meeting is going to take place. No additional information was provided. So let's take a look at this for a second. And first of all, go to the home page. There's nothing. I'm going to be quick with this. You can look it up yourselves. It's Memorial Day. We got a lot of other more important things to do. But here you go. Nothing. Go to the special meeting. Nothing. Go to the finance meeting. Nothing. No agenda, no pertinent documents, no nothing. Something's coming, guys. They're sneaking it in. Immoral. I signed in using my district login, got the board packet, and this is it. This is the same packet we had from our standard board meeting. Now, they knew all this information, yet nothing, right? We're talking about a budget. Funds are not to be used for other purposes or exceeded. We're in the middle of an audit. Here, payment of school funds in any manner for any purpose not provided in the act should be illegal. Shall be illegal, right? They say I don't know how to read the law. Sometimes I might miss a word, but I believe this word is shall be illegal. Okay, next. Liability for improper orders. Any school director voting for or any officer approving school order for the payment of school funds for any other purpose, right? Shall be individually liable. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Here we go. School board meeting, right? What is a meeting? Public notice. I don't know if this public was notified. I looked on the website. There's nothing other than on the calendar. And then there's no agenda. There's no pertinent documents. There's no information other than the purpose of approving a budget. Where is it? How come it's not published, right? So, special meeting scheduled by the agency, right? They're calling this a special meeting. Now, we've tried this before when we had injured students. We tried getting special meetings passed. And our illustrious president blocked them. I'll show you that in a second, right? There's a court case. Excuse my, like I said, we're going to be quick on this one. There's a court case called Luigi Di Francesco versus Pencrest. And at the bottom of this case, this is a guy that sued his own school district so that he could be given pertinent information prior to a school board meeting, right? And they blocked him. They literally voted to block this guy from getting information, right? And all he really wanted on this case was the solicitor's invoices. So, why, right? So, and why block them? But anyway, at the end of the case, it becomes very evident, right? Plaintiff's request for an injunction set forth, count 2, amendment, granted. They have to give this guy this information. He can't make a decision without it, right? Our district, under judge's orders, right? District's appeal is denied, right? Shall be provided to the appellee within 30 days. District appeal is denied. They wasted money. Fighting transparency. Denied. Moot regarding exhibits. Wasting money. Fighting the constitutionality of the right to know law. Right? Let's take a look at Palm. Well, I'll get to the top of this one for you real quick. This is Palm versus Center Township, right? This goes back to 1980. 1980, right? And it says, it is the duty of a school board member, a commissioner, or a councilman to be informed, right? Supervisors are not restricted to information furnished at a public meeting. Supervisors has the right to study, investigate, discuss and argue problems and issues prior to the public meeting at which they may vote. I'm going to be at a public meeting on Wednesday on your behalf. I'm begging you, pleading with you, seeking your input. We're going to pass another budget. The last one was immoral. It expended more money than was taken in. That's completely immoral. They have a responsibility to act with fidelity as an oath of office. Right? Back to this Ackerman case, right? So we'll go back up to get the right citing. It says, the assembly finds that the public to be presented at all meetings of the agency. Why are we doing a special meeting in a rush with no notice? Are you being blocked, obstructed, or are we just finding another loophole? They need to take their heads out of their loopholes. I don't like what they're doing. It's immoral. They talk about interpreting the act. Now they say, I interpret the law funny, right? Well, here you go. This talks exactly that the agency is the body and all committees. It talks what agency business is, right? Framing, preparation, making it an enactment of laws and policies. What's a meeting, right? Prearranged gathering. Here we have an email on Memorial Day being sent to the board. Nothing on the website other than on the calendar. No pertinent documents. Was it in the newspaper? Let's hope so, right? Because it's a requirement, right? I asked for the pertinent documents like bank statements, right? Here is a right to know law, right? Office of Open Records. This lady, or man, Sandy Early, seeks information, bank statements from Madison Township, right? April 5th, 2016, years ago. Requested to be filed, seeking copies of the monthly bank statements for a couple years, right? The agency blocked this person, or attempted to block this person, charging them extra money. Bring your own copier, bring your own paper. I mean, holy smokes, this is obstructionist, right? Well, luckily she went to the Office of Open Records. She appealed the decision. She said, wait a second, I want this stuff. They looked at it and they said, foregoing reason, requester's appeal is granted by the township, required to be provided all responsive records. Go back to Luigi. These board of directors tried blocking the information to be given to an individual board member. That's happening in our district regularly. I ask for the information, they're blocking me from having it, right? Why are they blocking? I don't know, but let's take a look at this. See if I can zoom this in a little bit for you. Here it says, from a third party, and speaking with our business manager about some revisions to the draft audit about an hour ago. This was after the guy said, I could get a copy of the draft. I'm a board member, therefore no big deal. He then had to renege on his promise to provide it to us because Ms. Denicola and our board president, both, two people now, instructed this person, right, should not provide and should not respond to or provide any information to any one board member. She told me, meaning Ms. Denicola, all vendors, right? She told me all vendors and third-party service providers have been told the same thing by the board. So we go back to Luigi, they don't have a right to make such a decision as a board against the law, right? It seems to be allegedly against the law for a board to block this information. Right? Mr. Stern then called me and confirmed what Miss Denicola told him. So here's a board president with a subordinate employee acting in cahoots, mind you, to block third-party service providers, allegedly, to provide information to a single board member. Yet, we're going to have a budget meeting on Wednesday now, special meeting, yet we still don't have the draft of our audit. We're way over budget, immoral in our actions with this district, right? So, here we go. I'm going to zoom this in again. This should end it. I'm asking them to send me the proposed budget in reference to the meeting. Send me or provide access to all the agenda for these meetings and all the pertinent documents, just as our school policy requires of a board to provide to not only the board members, but to you, the public, because I need your input. We have a very tenuous time right now. We have a district that's practically broke, if not completely broke financially. We have people within the community that this board has blocked tax relief multiple times. Excuses after excuses. It's just immoral. I mean, as stakeholders, you have the responsibility to help these immoral board members make good decisions. They should not be able to pass a budget that has more expenditures than income, because it's got to come from you. The state's not going to give us more money. Heck, the state's probably going to give us less money, right? Because they're having their own financial issues. But anyway, I need your help. I'm begging for your help. I represent the people in the community. I seek your input. I seek your morality. Should we or should we not approve a budget that spends more than we have or more than we take in? Anyway, back to my list. I want to see the details of the Auditor General's report, the forensic audit, and this draft audit that this board paid for. Send us a list of the mandatory educational benefits and optional. We as a board should know, without a doubt or any discussion, what is mandatory and what is not. How could you ever create a budget without knowing what is mandatory and optional? They hide this. This is irresponsible. Completely irresponsible. These 5 members need to resign. Rita Spenille, Wentz. Yeah, he can curse on the school board meeting if all he wants. He has that right, First Amendment. But I don't think he has the moral right to pass a budget that is greater in expenditure than our revenues. Nathan Foeller doesn't know what a balanced budget is, wouldn't let me explain it to him. Nathan, a balanced budget is when your expenditures are less than your anticipated income. It is balanced. And a portion of your funds, 5, 10, 15, 20%, are saved in a nest egg until you have a couple months of security for operating costs, so that in the event, as a good diligent business, where your taxpayers, your funding group are suffering, that you as a district can last a couple months without their payments because you have a nest egg, a small nest egg. Not a massive $16 million nest egg, Nathan. Just a couple $1 million to get by. Right? It's a $44 million budget. How about 10%? Right? $4 million. Not $16 million, so they waste it on a stadium and just spend the cash down so that when things like this happen, that they don't have the funds because they've already consumed them. Immoral. Send us a graph of the past 10 years. Now, according to Larry Stern's resume, if that's what you want to call it, he has experience for almost a decade. A decade of being on this board. They've repeatedly spent more than they take in. They've repeatedly added taxes when they didn't need it. They added taxes when they had a surplus. Immoral. They pass budgets. They don't stick to the budget. Let's take a look at this for a second. Responsibility. Right? Budgeted funds. used for other purposes or exceeded. The administration has to ask and get approved by the board prior to exceeding any one line budget item. How does this board repeatedly fail in this responsibility to act with fidelity as in the oath of office? So Rita, resignation. Wayne, Uncle Wayne, resignation. Turn it in. Steve Holland, your responsibility is to create the budget, not let the administration do it. Turn it in. Turn in your resignation. Nathan Foeller, I really had faith in you, man. You were going to be a Christian business leader, Christian business person, moral responsibility to act with fidelity. I'm pleading with you, man. Pleading with you. You're a business person. You cannot create an unbalanced budget. You cannot create expenditures or anticipate expenditures to be greater than your revenue. No business would survive that. What makes you think a government should or can? You gonna borrow money? If you borrow money, you're consuming it in this year for future generations to pay for. It's Memorial Day. Those people paid the greatest sacrifice. We should act with responsibility, fidelity, and pass a budget that's proper, sir. Sad. And Larry Stern, yeah, what a mess, right? I know your wife works for the district. I get it. I understand you're protecting the district, right? Everyone would protect their spouse's place of employment, but not to the detriment of the entire community, sir. The responsibility to act with fidelity, your oath of office, is demanded upon you. Wednesday, special meeting, please, stakeholders, please, pray. Show up, help us. Help hold these people accountable to you, the people that are the public, that generated these public servants, right? You voted them in. Hold them accountable. They're public servants. They need to hold their administration accountable. The administration should not be creating this budget or outlining or even providing the first draft of this budget. And Rita, the budget doesn't create itself, okay? The board is responsible to create the budget, and the board answers to the public, to the people, right? It's our job to hold the administration accountable. We're accountable to the stakeholders. The administration's accountable to the board. Please, stakeholders, help. Thank you.